What's good, y'all, man? Chopping it up with Rawkward, man. Talking about the futures of just going to what we doing and everything like that. He got bits and bars of 1 year anniversary coming up right quick. Hang on, let's go into that right quick. Let the beat drop.
Yeah.
Did you make this beat right here?
Yeah. It's the beat for Barred Out. It's actually a Wu-Tang sample.
Okay.
Not a lot of people know that.
Yeah.
That's my cousin right there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. He was lit. Nobody even could hear what he said because he had the mic like way over here.
He's going in right quick.
Yeah.
Yeah, what's up, y'all, man? We chilling with my boy Rawkward, man. We just been chopping it up and everything. Players mess up, we definitely had a high moment earlier, you know what I mean? So, definitely to put that down. But we've been chopping it up with Rawkward about the comedy, doing the comedy, the moments of overcoming the stage of joining the stage after doing comedy and everything like that. What's one of your best comedy moments, like being on stage as of now? Like just like maybe something like, you got a good crowd response, or you worked out a great set or something like that. What's one of your fun comedy moments?
I feel like I got like a couple that I could think of off the bat. For me, first of all, the December Whittier Bits and Bars show. That was one of my favorite shows that we ever did. I felt like I practiced a lot and like to the point where I wasn't nervous, so that was good. And also it was a great turnout, and it was just good vibes. It was a packed house. I feel like all the comedians did great, and like even like I look back at the recap on my YouTube, I'm like that was a special night. Aside from that, also the tattoo day parties, both of them. I feel like I remember being nervous to do comedy both times. Like just feeling, I don't know. I think I was sick the first time, and then the second time, I don't know. I remember being asked if I wanted to rap or do comedy first, and I was like, I want to do comedy first in case it doesn't go well. I could redeem myself with the rapping. But like I feel like it went so well both times that I was like, damn. Like it like sometimes I lose that confidence in myself as far as comedy goes. That like I'll never lose with rap, but like with comedy, sometimes I'm like. You bomb a few times, you're like, damn, am I good at this? And then you have a show where you're like, damn, I got it. Like,
I
feel like those was really hitting for me.
I was about to ask you about the bombing shows. Like, is that one of I guess I'm guessing that's like one of the worst experiences that you do have as a comedian.
Yeah, but it's part of it. I mean, that's why we open mic to like practice jokes and hopefully bomb there if like find out what isn't so good. But the thing with bombing is sometimes it isn't like you'll work out these jokes and you'll be like, these jokes work. What's happening tonight? Like, and sometimes it's sometimes it's the audience just isn't into that kind of comedy, or maybe you didn't win them over with a personal joke at first, or maybe your rhythm's off. There's so many factors that could be why you're bombing. But yeah, it just sucks when you're like, man, I so thought this was gonna go well because these jokes usually work.
Yeah. No, that and like when it doesn't, do you have like alternative moves like a quarterback? Do you have like audibles like, oh, let me go into this right quick. Let me see what this crowd's working with.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like early on, it was just like every time I had a show, it was just I didn't have that. I was just like, okay, I got a 5-minute set. Here's my 5-minute set, or I got a 10-minute set. Here's my 10-minute set. But like I've been doing it so long now that like I will have my prepared set, but then if I go in there and I see like sometimes you can just tell by like the age group of the audience, they're like, oh, the Drake jokes probably aren't gonna work for this audience. Then let me switch it up to like relationship stuff is probably like my go-to that I feel like is universal. So that's kind of
Mm-hmm.
like that's what I lean on when I'm like, okay, because a lot of times I want to lean topical, but
Mm-hmm.
sometimes you can tell like the audience just isn't up to the with the topics. They're not up to date and stuff. So you're like, okay, let me just lean on some more like relatable stuff.
Yeah, yeah. Do you, so with the music too, um, because you got the comedy in your music too, but you're also spitting bars. You know what I mean? Do you
Yeah.
sometimes feel like you might get typecast as a certain type of rapper, like, oh, he's just a comedy rapper?
Yeah, but I don't really mind it. People like clump me in with Lil Dicky, and I feel like that's a I'm honored to be clumped in with Lil Dicky because I feel like it's the same. Like he's a funny rapper, but he also got bars. You see him on like Tim Westwood or on Sway in the Morning. Like I feel like we're cut from the same cloth, and you know I wouldn't say like I'm not like Lonely Island though. I would say, but also that's what I'm not really compared to Lonely. I feel like I don't hear a lot about Lonely Island anymore. I do like Lonely Island though, but I just feel like it's a spectrum of comedy rap. And I feel like
Mm-hmm.
I'm more on the bar heavy comedy rap than just the full laugh out loud
Yeah,
comedy rap.
yeah, yeah. You're not like Weird Al or some shit like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That'd be like that'd probably be like a bad comparison. You'd be like, oh, he's like weird. You'd be like, what the hell? You know what I mean? You know, Weird Al,
Yeah.
he sold albums. You know what I mean?
Weird
He
Al, I mean,
did.
he's a legend in his own right, but it's very different than what I do.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
do
yeah.
fuck with
Very.
Weird Al though. I met Weird Al one time. He's a cool guy. But
Was
yeah, I don't.
he? I would hate for like Weird Al to be like an asshole. You know what I mean? You meet him,
No,
he's
he
like, you
was
want? You know what I mean?
no, he was super chill. He's I have a friend. Her name's Kate McCucci. She's she's an actress, musical comedian, and a painter, and she's like, uh, she's famous in her own right, and she has a lot of
Yeah.
creative friends. So I went to one of her art shows, and yeah, Weird Al was there, so I met Weird Al there. I met Topanga from Boy Meets World was there.
Oh,
Um,
what?
yeah, Anthony Jeselnik was at another one. She's having another one coming up pretty soon, so
Oh
I
man.
suggest I suggest people go because you never know who you're gonna run into. I go just to
Yeah.
support my friend, but every time I go, I run into like someone I'm a fan of too. I'm like, this is awesome.
Oh man, I might have to roll
Yeah.
with you the next one.
Yeah, I'll let you know. She's doing a thing right now. Actually, it's because she had breast cancer, so she's like doing this whole art installation to raise money for like breast cancer awareness. So she's working on the art right now. She's doing like a Instagram series, and as she's doing it, and then when she's done filling up her whole wall, she's gonna rent out a place, I think, and have the actual show.
Oh man, that's dope. That's dope, man. Um, so with like other music and do who was like you talked about some of your early influences, The Game, Childish Gambino, um, and then a lot of sort of artists. Who would you say is like your most like influenced by? Like just say
That's
like I want to pick up the
Eminem without a doubt.
yeah Eminem.
Yeah, he was always ever since I think maybe Forgot About Dre was when I first remember like hear. I just It was his tone that got me at first. I was like, I heard him was on that chorus and that second verse. I was like, this guy sounds cool. He sounds different. And then I think I saw the
Mhm.
My Name Is video, and I was like, this guy is funny. Like that's like I think that's part of the reason I like lean into comedy rap too, because like Eminem's like low key comedy rap. Like Just Lose It, My Name Is,
Yeah,
like the real Slim Shady, Ass Like That. Like he's always come
yeah.
with the comedy too.
Yeah, 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 yeah. He was always witty with his crazy. You know what I mean? That's before
Yeah,
he got clean and everything like that. I'm glad of his sobriety. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Definitely. But the music, it definitely is different though, man. But he still is, one of the bar kings out there. You can't take nothing from him, man. You know what I mean? A legend.
yeah, definitely.
It's just a different type of, uh, thing that he's doing. You know what I mean? And you get older and you get different styles. You start thinking different. You know what I mean? He definitely is in a different lifestyle and everything like that. How do you feel
Yeah,
about that? You know what I mean? Just when rappers get older, people want them to expect still spit the same way. How do you feel about that? You being an
oh
artist.
yeah, um, yeah. No, people grow, and like I feel like Eminem's last album really, he explained it really with the death of Slim Shady, and he did it in such a creative way. Have you
Mm-hmm.
checked it out? I don't know if you checked it out. It's really interesting because like
No,
he
I haven't checked it out.
okay, yeah, you should check it out because he basically like brought Slim Shady back, and like he's just saying the most wild shit like he used to, but like about today's shit. Like he's talking about transgenders. He talks about midgets and blind and deaf people. Like he's really going balls to the walls at Slim Shady, and then
Mm-hmm.
it's like they have a song like Guilty Conscience Part 2, which is Eminem versus Slim Shady, and basically Eminem's like telling him like how he's grown up and how he like times have changed, and like he's just like they basically like they like argue back and forth with each other, and you get to see both sides, and at the end of the day you get to see where Eminem is at now and like why
Yeah.
he makes the stuff he makes now.
Yeah.
It's really interesting. I like it a lot.
Mm-hmm. I mean, that's a dope concept of what it is. I mean, I just haven't been you know, I guess I just have to check it out. I can't keep the same bias because you know what I mean, I was like a strong like
Oh
everybody's a
yeah,
strong fan of Eminem, but then the I ain't gonna say the fall off because he's still a machine. You know what I mean? He can still put
yeah.
out whatever, but it's
No,
just like what it was. It just was what it
yeah.
was.
I feel it's just saying. Like I feel like I didn't really fuck. I mean, obviously, not to be like obviously, but like obviously, I didn't fuck with Revival. That was like his
Yeah,
biggest flop of all his albums. But
yeah,
to
yeah,
be
yeah.
honest, I didn't love the Marshall Mathers LP Part 2 either. And
Mm-hmm.
like it wasn't until the Kamikaze where I started like getting back into him. I was like, this is the shit. And I feel like his one after Kamikaze is even better than Kamikaze. The Music to Be Murdered By.
Mm-hmm.
That's I think some of his best work in a long time. And it's just
Yeah,
bar wise, he just has so many bars. He has a song called Alfred's Theme where almost every line's a fucking play on words, and that's one of my favorite songs by him.
yeah. Are you like do you and do you look for that like when you do like collabs with artists too? It's like, you know what I mean, your bar like just like understand skill wise, but like, you know what I mean, you don't want like no simple bars or anything like that.
Yeah, yeah. I don't collab a lot, maybe
Hmm.
for that reason. I don't know. No, like
Yeah.
yeah, there's a few people like yeah, I definitely want them to be on my level. Like I want them if they're better than me, great, because that'll just challenge me to be better. Like I just
Hmm.
yeah, but I don't really want anybody that's too much below my level.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's why. But I got a few people that like I like Zigzag Prodigy. I fuck with him heavy. So like
Yeah.
I feel like we're comparable bar wise. So like every time he's like lately he's been my go to guy to hit up like for collabs. So I'm like yeah, he'll match me on this
Yeah.
shit and like
My
yeah,
boy
definitely
Zigzag.
yeah yeah
Young Lenny Kravitz.
yeah yeah
Yeah. No, that's dope, man. And being part of shout out to the whole DGAF universe, man, the
yeah
family out there, you
definitely
know what I mean? We're part of the universe, you know what I mean? And it's always dope that you have that a collective of artists that you can just reach into anytime, for shows, for music, or just ideas, you know what I mean?
yeah
Speak on that,
definitely.
with the influences of your peers.
Yeah, man, I love having the team DGAF Universe. Shout out Ed V for getting us all together, man. Like I owe that man a lot, and that's why he's
Salute,
like,
man.
yeah, that's why I put him on. I put him on pretty much every show I do because that's just my boy, man. I like without him, I wouldn't have any of this really. Like,
Yeah, yeah.
I wouldn't
Is
have.
he the one that got you into like? No, you said you was already doing music, but he got you into like performing, helping you with shows and all that.
He got me on some stages, and he got me in the community like more than anything. That's the most important thing. Like getting to the group chat, really, like just with like you. Probably wouldn't know you.
Yeah,
Yeah, I wouldn't know Zigzag. I wouldn't know like any of the rappers on this flyer,
yeah,
except for yeah, I would know the comedians because I met the comedians through a different route. But like all the rappers,
yeah,
pretty much I met through Ed V or through like someone I met through Ed V.
yeah, yeah, yeah. That's dope, man. He is the connector, man. And my boy's like the
Yeah,
wise man. He really came. My boy really came out of a mushroom in Jalisco.
yeah. I also want to shout out though, Bravo 562. He's a part of DGAF Universe now too. But I feel like
Shout
I,
out
kn- I knew him.
Bravo.
Yeah, but I knew him separately, and he has his own thing. And like I met a lot of through artists through him too. So like shout out him too for connecting me to like so many artists.
Yeah. Yeah, man, that's dope. Bravo definitely on this thing, man. He's
Yeah,
a grinder, man. Always cool vibes every time I see him, man. Never, always positive.
yeah, yeah, definitely.
Yeah, man. So you got the new mixtape, or is it new mixtape or album?
It's an EP.
EP.
Yeah.
Okay.
EP.
New EP dropping soon, man. Let the people know a little bit about that.
Yeah. So the EP is called Joker, Rock in a Hard Place. RAWK. I'm Rock, and it is a breakup based EP that is
behind.
That is like it has a Joker theme to it. Obviously, like I took a lot of clips from the Joker movies and sprinkled them throughout the songs to paint this story of being cheated on. So I'm pretty excited. FMX is gonna be on there. Everyone's favorite song. Everyone's been asking me like, when's it gonna drop? It will be on that EP. And I also have a collaboration with Vanessa. Like I said, I don't do a lot of collabs, and I've never done a collab with a female singer, and I always wanted to, and I'm so excited for people to hear that one. And I also am dropping a music video for another song we have on there called Clowns Makeup, the day that I dropped the EP, which is October 4th, along with a photo shoot that Indigo Universe did.
Okay, shout out to Indigo.
Yeah, we're doing a lot. Yeah, shout out Indigo for sure.
Hey, man. Hey, those photo shoots been getting around. Somebody else mentioned to me about that. It's like, oh, you know, Indigo, she does the shoots. I was like, yeah, man, that's the homegirl, man. Shout out to Indigo, man. But always, that's the sis right there. She always positive every time I see her, man. It's so supportive, man. Shout out to Indigo Universe, man. You know, go check her out, man. Indigo Universe on IG.
Definitely.
We also did you dropped something on the Street Team Worldwide Radio Volume 1. You know what I mean? We haven't even done a show since that, man. Oh my God, we've been so busy. It's crazy, man. Street Team Worldwide Volume 1, Radio 1, Radio Volume 1. You dropped the can't trust them. No, not like please say the
Not
name
Like
right.
Us remix. It was a Not Like Us remix called Lost My Trust. Yeah.
Lost My Trust. Because the crazy thing, I was really trying to combine all of that together.
Like,
But yeah, man, it was a banger, man.
That song leads into the EP. So there's some Joker samples in that because that's like basically the intro into the EP. So before you listen to the EP, make sure you guys check that out.
Yeah, man, that's the prelude right there, man. Definitely appreciate you being a part of that, and you know what I mean, and always just being a part of whatever we do, man, in Street Team and everything like that, man. You know what I mean? You're definitely honorary Street Team, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I appreciate you for always having me, man. And I got at least one track, but maybe two tracks for your next mixtape already. One with Zigzag, I already sent him the track, so he just needs to do his part, and then the other one I already have done, ready to go for you.
Dope, man. It's gonna be ready, man. Be ready for that date too. We're gonna be dropping the date for the mixtape, man. So y'all definitely lock in, man. It's gonna be crazy, man. We got my boy Rawkward with us, man. You know, talking about some music, talking about some comedy. Speaking of comedy, did you see the Pete Diddy press conference?
I don't know. I heard he got indicted, but I didn't see any press conference.
Oh, this is live react. This is live reaction. Let's
shit.
Hold on. As a comedian, I think you're gonna laugh about this, man. And it's not the situation. Let me get it clear. He's not gonna laugh about the situation. It's just what is going on.
Yeah.
Closed doors. That's where Congressman Mike Garcia got access to private airline safety briefings, then secretly sold up to $50,000 in airplane manufacturer stock weeks before.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Damian Williams, and I'm the U.S. Attorney here in the Southern District of New York. Today, I'm announcing the unsealing of a 3-count indictment, charging Sean Combs with racketeering conspiracy, sex trafficking, interstate transportation for prostitution. The indictment alleges that between at least 2008 and the present, Combs abused, threatened, and coerced victims to fulfill his sexual desires, protect his reputation, and conceal his conduct. As alleged in the indictment, to carry out this conduct, Sean Combs led and participated in a racketeering conspiracy that used the business empire he controlled to carry out criminal activity, including sex trafficking, forced labor, kidnapping, arson, bribery, and the obstruction of justice. Let me say a little bit more about the charges. The indictment alleges that Combs abused and exploited women and other people for years, and in a variety of ways.
We need a small business.
Oh, come on, man.
I got this. Lone Falcon!
I got him in arson, though. I wonder what they burned down.
As alleged, Combs used force, threats of force, and coercion to cause victims to engage in extended sexual performances with male commercial sex workers. Some of whom be transported or caused to be transported over state lines.
What's a commercial sex worker, though? Is that like they got like an ad or something?
Yeah, that would be my guess. Yeah,
it's like
during the papers.
It's like
Combs allegedly planned and controlled the sex performances, which he called freak-offs. And he often electronically recorded them.
This is where the
freak-offs
crazy
sometimes lasted days at a time, involved multiple commercial sex workers, and often involved a variety of narcotics such as ketamine, ecstasy, and GHB, which Combs distributed to the victims to keep them obedient and compliant. As alleged, when Combs didn't get his way, he was violent, and he subjected victims to physical, emotional, and verbal abuse so that they would participate in the freak-offs, and that Combs hit, kicked, threw objects at, and dragged victims, at times by their hair. On one occasion...
So you gonna beat a broad, and then you gonna try to get the freak off cracking after that? Like, oh man, this guy is crazy. This guy is a sick puppy.
In March of 2016, that conduct was captured on video and later reported in the media.
Look at this, but specifically
Combs,
the straight face this guy has,
and threw a vase at a victim in a Los Angeles hotel when the victim was attempting to flee. As alleged, these assaults often resulted in injuries to the victims, which took days or weeks to heal. In addition to the violence, the indictment alleges that Combs threatened and coerced victims to get them to participate in the freak-offs. He used the embarrassing and sensitive recordings he made of the freak-offs as collateral against the victims.
Yo, did they have to say freak-offs so many times?
He maintained control over the victims in several ways, including by giving them drugs and threatening to take away financial support or housing, by promising them career opportunities, by monitoring their whereabouts, and even by dictating their physical appearance. Because of all of this, the indictment alleges that the victims did not believe they could refuse Combs without risking their security or facing more abuse. The indictment also alleges other acts of violence undertaken by Combs and others, including violence against witnesses to his abuse, kidnapping, and arson. The indictment alleges that on more than one occasion, Combs carried or brandished firearms to intimidate and threaten victims and witnesses.
You know, he burned down, he blew up Kid Cudi's car.
Combs did not do.
Yeah,
they said that. They said that in the Cassie shit. Like, and it's crazy. Nobody's really making a big deal out of that. Like, they just brushed over there, like, oh, they just tried to blow up Kid Cudi's car, and you know, like, well, nobody said nothing about that. That's crazy. This fool really, like, out there mafia style and shit.
Yeah, I'm surprised Cudi didn't really say anything about it. He just didn't deny it when people like said he was like, yeah, I'm not denying that. Like, but he never like made a big deal about it himself, which is crazy. But I think it's because I think people just fear Diddy. I think that's the thing, you know, like
he's like, I know he's still out there. You know?
Yeah, exactly. You already blew him. Like, I know how crazy he is. Like, I just saw it.
As I mentioned, Combs has been charged with RICO conspiracy. He used his business and employees of that business and other close associates to get his way. Those individuals allegedly included high-ranking supervisors in the business, personal assistants, security staff, and household staff. The indictment alleges that those individuals facilitated the freak-offs. They booked the hotel rooms and stocked them with the supplies, including drugs,
this is the crazy
baby
part.
oil, personal lubricant, extra linens, and lighting. When the hotel rooms got damaged, they helped clean it up. They arranged for victims and commercial sex workers to travel for the freak-offs, and they delivered large quantities of cash to Combs to pay for the commercial sex workers. The indictment also alleges that they helped Combs cover up his crimes. During the March 2016 incident at the LA hotel that I mentioned earlier, a member of the hotel security staff intervened, and Combs attempted to bribe the staff member with a stack of cash to make sure that what happened was kept quiet. And as the indictment alleges, in late 2023, after public allegations were made about Combs's crimes, he and others pressured witnesses and victims to stay silent, including by making phone calls to witnesses and victims and giving them a false narrative of what they had experienced. And as alleged, Combs used others to help conceal his abuse by monitoring and preventing victims from leaving a location in order to hide their injuries, or by locating and contacting a victim who had attempted to flee. As part of this investigation, in March of this year, Special Agent HSI executed search warrants at Combs's residences in Miami and Los Angeles. They also executed a warrant for Combs's electronic devices. During those searches, agents seized evidence of the crimes charged in this indictment. They seized firearms and ammunition, including 3 defaced AR-15s and a large capacity drum magazine.
Man.
They also seized evidence of the freak-offs, electronic devices that contain images and videos of the freak-offs with multiple victims. And they seized cases and cases of the kinds of personal lubricant and baby oil that Combs' staff allegedly used to stock hotel rooms for the freak-offs.
Cases.
More than 1,000 bottles altogether.
Cases.
Here are some of the items that we recovered during the searches.
They're going to show all the loot.
Damn.
Oh, come on. We don't want to see that shit.
Baby oil and like it's slippery.
As you can see here, this is a drum magazine, large capacity.
Yo, hold on. But bro said he didn't just say like a lot. He didn't say plenty. He said cases upon cases of lubrication. How much fucking you doing? Diddy, you freaky as fuck. You freaky motherfucker. Like, oh my God.
And it contains, I believe, 59 rounds. I mentioned as well, we recovered 3 AR-15s. This is a close-up shot of one of the AR-15s, and you can see right here, the serial number has been thoroughly defaced. Another picture of more ammunition and parts of 2 AR-15s right there. Now, I want to be clear about 2 things. First, this office is determined to investigate and prosecute anyone who engages in sex trafficking, no matter how powerful or wealthy or famous you may be. No one should doubt our commitment on that. A year ago, Sean Combs stood in Times Square and was handed a key to New York City. Today, he's been indicted and will face justice in the Southern District of New York. Second, we are not done. This investigation is ongoing, and I encourage anyone with information about this case to come forward and to do it quickly. Anyone with information can call 1.
Man, that's crazy, man.
Yeah.
You think they made him? Do you think they made him say freak off that many times?
Yeah, I mean,
that was a lot of freak offish.
What could he have said instead of freak off? Because I mean, that's the official title. You gotta, people need to know what you're talking about, you know. I guess he could have just said Diddy parties. We would have known if he just said Diddy party. You don't need to say the whole
event. He could have said event.
He could have said event. Yeah.
He said gatherings or something. He said we have evidence of the freak offs.
Yeah.
We got thousands and thousands of cases of lubricant that were in the freak off. We got motherfuckers being freaky in the freak off.
Take a shot every time he says freak offs.
Oh, you'd have been drunk, man. Oh my God. And the way he said it so serious, like freak offs. We were in the freak offs. He took off prostitutes to the freak off. Yeah, man. He was that was too many freak offs. Yeah. It wasn't fun. It was like a serious moment though. You know what I mean? It's like how he's been getting away with it for a long time, man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. And he still ain't even got convicted for pot. You know what I mean? So, that's it. You know, that's a whole crazy situation in itself.
Yeah,
You
it
know
is
what I mean?
wild. Yeah.
You know, I definitely think he has something to do in that situation.
Yeah,
You
I
know what
mean, like the Keefe D, like he said it right, and I think, like, to my understanding, I watched a few videos on it. Like, there was like they had a middleman, and the middleman never gave the money to Keefe D. So
Yeah.
because of that, Diddy never really made the full transaction, so he can't be held responsible. But it's like, so then that means like he did it. Like it's still like known that he set it up though, just because he can't be charged for it because of the technicality.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like I don't know, man.
And just the different things that he done in that situation is like, you know, it was always painted as Death Row and Death Row and Tupac, Suge Knight were the aggressors, but it's like, you know, the only person that really died was people on Puffy's watch, because, like, you know what I mean, Suge Knight went somewhere and his friend got killed at one of Puffy's parties and by one of Puffy's people. And you know, that was a big thing. And then like, you literally was antagonizing these guys, you know you have problems with them, you know they're bloods, so you're gonna go start hanging with the Crips for protection and, you know, putting them involved and then all that when you just didn't have to go deal with it, you know what I mean? So, you know, having Big in LA right after Tupac died, you know what I mean? That was just like life suicide and career suicide, having Biggie out here like that. You know, and not secured up. He should have been rolling like the president.
Yeah, man. That's what. Yeah, I mean, I've heard the conspiracies that, you know, Puffy has something to do with that too. I mean, like, why didn't you have security? Obviously, like, it just seems like it's such a, I don't know. Yeah, no security in LA. Like, that's crazy. Like, there's too much. I don't know. I've watched a few videos on it. I don't know what other people. I don't know what's confirmed, but it's just like, yeah. It seems like Diddy, he's got a lot of. I mean, I just can't wait to see what 50 Cent does with it, though. I know he's just putting out a documentary, Surviving Diddy.
Yeah,
I'm excited to see what that's gonna be about. I think we're gonna learn a lot.
Oh, that's gonna be epic, man. What do you think about the whole comedy beef too? You know what I mean? Speaking of hip hop beef, you know, Kevin Hart, he's speaking about Cat Williams again. You know what I mean? He's talking about he feels like he should have never responded to Cat Williams and their beef and everything like that.
What did Kevin say in response? I saw what Cat said on Club Shay Shay, but
this right here.
Kinder Chocolate. Crafted for kids, loved by all.
Hey, Earl! Kitchen's holding up to the dogs, no problem.
I think there's probably one moment where I've actually talked about Cat publicly, and this was when.
Yo, what's up? This bruh, man, from the fifth floor. And
shout out to my folks at Forgotten Kings, man. Dope channel, man. If you're ever watching, man, they're good on like comedian news and all types of black news and everything like that. Well, I guess you want to say news, gossip, whatever you want to call it. You know what I mean? Shout out to Forgotten Kings.
You tuned in to Forgotten Kings TV.
In 15 years in Hollywood, no one in Hollywood has a memory of going to a sold-out Kevin Hart show, there being a line for him ever getting a standing ovation at any comedy club. He already had his deals when he got here. Have we heard of a comedian that came to L.A. and in his first year in L.A., he had his own sitcom on network television and had his own movie called Soul Plane that he was leading? No, we've never heard of that before that person or since that person. What do you think a plant is?
We were promoting Night School, and Tiffany was affected by some of the things you said. And it was more of a like support for her in that moment, and like some shots at him.
Do you regret that?
Yeah, I shouldn't even talk. I should never address him like, at all. I don't have to. But like, why? What will it do for me? What will I gain? There's no gain. So I look at everything from a business and economic standpoint. Like, if I'm investing in something, well, what is my return? What's the return on my investment? What's the return on my time? What's the return on my energy? What's the return on my investment? So that investment of self, words, dialogue brings me what? What? And if I can't answer that question, or if people around me can't answer that question, then it doesn't get an inklet of energy. With people feeling like they're above, people feeling like they're better. No, it has to do with a strong understanding of you and like yourself, level of awareness. Like I can check all these boxes, but to some, they want to take it or misconstrue it or twist it as. It's not my problem. It doesn't become my problem.
How does it feel knowing that you have achieved so much success that people think you're an industry plant?
I mean, it's the biggest compliment ever, right? You.
I don't know about that, Kevin.
When you hear things like that,
I think it really does affect them.
You got to give a nod, to common sense versus lack thereof. You know, I had a conversation with my daughter one day, and she was asking a question and like debating off of the hypothetical of if something was real versus not. And I said, you know, everything is researchable if you really want to know it. If people really care and you really want to know things, it's very easy to go do some research.
Absolutely.
And actually, beyond easy, it's like, it's dumb proof today. Like Google has it so dumb proof that you can actually type in the dumbest version of a question and Google will correct your question and give you the right side of your question with the options for you to go find the thing that you're looking for.
That's right.
So if you really give a shit, you can go and see. I mean, the industry plant conversation is what? What is it? What does that mean? Like when you really break that down,
it means that's why I want you to tell your story. And I'm glad it was the story, like you said, the story's out there. People want to know. It means that somebody put you in this position, and press the button, and that's the guy.
Yeah. So when I say what does that mean, like, what are we talking about?
Earlier today, Kevin Hart sat down in an interview with Charlamagne the God, and of course, he was asked to speak on his issue.
I mean, I got two things I take from that.
Yeah.
I feel like Kevin Hart was right to say what he needed to say because I feel like people have this weird thing of like where they don't have to. They feel like, oh, I don't have to. If I don't say nothing, it's just I'm being a bigger person. Sometimes you just gotta let a motherfucker know some shit. Like, you know what I mean? Hey, you can't just keep talking shit about me. You know what I mean? And you know, whatever I love Cat Williams. A lot of shit he does says right. You know what I mean? But I feel like sometimes if you let a guy just keep, talking about you, he's gonna think that you are soft. You know what I mean? He's gonna think he can say anything he wants to you, at any time. So I always felt like Kevin Hart wasn't wrong to speak up for himself. To see why people think he is not an industry plant, I think he's in that industry plant denial type of thing. Not saying he is an industry plant because he did work hard. He worked over the years. You know what I mean? He was in the comedy game.
Yeah.
I'm not saying he's one of my favorite comedians, but he definitely puts the work in. It's not hard. It's not easy to do what he's doing at a high level. You know what I mean? So I give him that. And from history, people have seen they work with Kevin Hart back in the day. He's been in the game. He's doing his thing. You know what I mean? So, but to not know to act like what is an industry plant? You know what I mean? Like all naive and everything like that. That's crazy.
Yeah. I'm a big fan of both of them. And I do think Kevin makes a good point that like he doesn't really have anything to gain because he's like at the top of the comedy game pretty much. Like people like know him like as like one of the biggest guys. So it's like he doesn't really have anything to gain from beefing with Cat Williams. And it would probably get really dirty and it might end up like on some Kendrick and Drake shit, especially if Cat's taking the Kevin's an industry plant angle, then that just puts him in the Drake position and that's not a good spot to be in. So yeah. But yeah, man, I don't know. And I think Cat's so calculated that it would be a tough showdown if they were really like going at it like that on like a battle of wits type thing, like a roast or something where they really got down to it. But that'd be crazy. But yeah, I think Kevin makes a good point in that he doesn't really have anything to gain from that though.
Yeah. Have you like the comedy? Is it like a lot of comedy beef like on the independent level?
Not. I mean, just over stupid shit. Like, I feel like no one's over. Like, I haven't seen anybody really like beef over like jokes stealing. I feel like that would be like an offense. Like if someone's stealing jokes and shit, and like that would be a crime. But it's like just someone did someone dirty at one show somehow, and it's just like holding grudges and shit. But yeah, I feel like it's not really like that with comedy. There's egos for sure. Like it's just, but from what I can see around there, it's not like any head-on beefs. I mean, if there is, I mean, you settle at a roast battle or something.
Yeah. Clown it. You know what I mean? Clown. See, you can clown it. But sometimes I can see it like, when people are funny, does it get like it just gets crazy or dark, huh?
Yeah. when you got to keep because it's the biggest. It becomes about shock value at that point. Whoever can get the biggest fucking shock from the crowd, you know?
Yeah, that's crazy. I mean, but it goes like that, man. You know what I mean? Can we all get along, as a great Rodney King would say? R.I.P. Rodney King, man. Man, I want to thank Rawkward, man, for stopping by, man. We had a great conversation, even though we was having a great conversation, great 20-minute conversation without the live button. But hey, I appreciate him still sticking around, hanging out with us, catching up and everything.
Yeah,
like that. Let the people know when the EP is coming out again.
Yeah, so the EP is October 4th. The Bits and Bars show is September 27th, and I'll also be opening for Wax in LA on November 7th. So yeah.
Definitely, man. So make sure y'all go check all that out, man. Hit my boy up, man. Hit him up, man. Don't Stop the Rock. You know what I mean? Don't Stop the Rock. Hit him up there, and all the social medias. Go hit the Instagram, the YouTube, and all that good stuff, man. Appreciate you, Rawkward, man. Appreciate you stopping by. You already know what it is, man. Street Team Worldwide. Let's go.